They say every airport hides a secret, but what was hidden under Terminal 7 wasn't just a secret. It was something that was never supposed to be found. It all started back in 1998 with a simple maintenance report. A crew working late at night under the main runway reported strange vibrations. It wasn't the rumble of a plane taking off. It was something deeper, more rhythmic. They described it as the feeling of distant machinery, or maybe trains. That was the first red flag. The nearest metro line was a full 6 kilometers away. There was no logical reason for them to be feeling or hearing anything like that. Curiosity, or perhaps protocol, pushed for an investigation. A team was sent down to the sublevels of Terminal 7, a place most airport staff never see. They ran sonic scans, drilled core samples, and found an anomaly, a void. A space beneath the reinforced concrete floor that shouldn't be there. Orders were given to break through. As jackhammers shattered the concrete, they revealed not dirt or bedrock, but a hole. A dark, gaping maw, leading downwards, and inside that hole was a staircase. It was made of iron, rusted and pitted with age, spiraling down into absolute, impenetrable darkness. This staircase didn't belong to the airport. It looked ancient, like a relic from a forgotten industrial age. The investigation team, equipped with high-powered lights and communication gear, descended. The air grew cold, musty, filled with the smell of damp earth and something else, something metallic. After descending what felt like several stories, they reached the bottom. Their lights cut through the gloom to reveal an impossible sight. A platform. A train station platform, covered in a thick blanket of dust that seemed to have been undisturbed for a century. There were old, faded posters on the walls, advertisements for products that no one recognized. And then they saw the sign. A grimy enamel sign with peeling letters that spelled out a name that appeared on no map, in no city archive. Subline Station. Level -3. It was a ghost station. The tracks, still gleaming faintly under the dust, curved away from the platform and disappeared into a tunnel. A tunnel so black it felt like it was drinking the light from their flashlights. There was an immediate, frantic search through municipal records, airport blueprints, historical archives. The result was unanimous and chilling. Nothing. There was no file, no construction permit, no blueprint, no historical mention that this station had ever been built. It simply did not exist, officially, anyway. Against their better judgment, a 2-person exploration team was geared up to make a preliminary probe into the tunnel. Their mission was simple: walk in for 7 minutes, record everything, and come back. They were tethered by a safety line, their coms open and recording every sound. For the first 6 minutes, the audio log was just the sound of their boots crunching on the dusty ballast between the tracks and their own steady breathing. They described a feeling of immense pressure, like the darkness itself was a physical weight. Then, at the 6.5 minute mark, the audio changed. A faint sound began to filter through their microphones. Hello? Boom. Then a rhythmic clatter. It was the unmistakable sound of a train approaching. But something was wrong. Terribly wrong. One of the explorers, a man identified only as ID 47, radioed back to the command post. His voice was tight with confusion. The sound wasn't coming from ahead of them, down the tunnel. He said it was coming from all around them. The audio log is terrifying to listen to. The sound of the train echoes and shifts, seeming to move from the left wall to the ceiling, then to the right wall, cycling them, orbiting them in the pitch-black darkness. It was like the sound itself was a predator, hunting them in the void. They were ordered to retreat immediately. They pulled back, scrambling out of the tunnel and back onto the dusty platform, just as their 7 minutes were up. The sound of the phantom train faded as they climbed the stairs. But something had changed. When the 2 explorers emerged back into the sublevel of the airport, one of them, ID 47, was visibly shaken, trembling. He was placed in immediate debriefing, but he couldn't give a coherent report. He just kept repeating the same phrase, over and over again, his eyes wide with a terror that no one else could understand. He said, "We were not alone down there. They're still running it." The incident triggered a full-scale panic behind the scenes. Within 24 hours, an emergency construction crew was brought in. They filled the opening with tons of fast-setting concrete, sealing the ancient staircase, and the impossible station beneath it forever. All reports, audio logs, and witness statements related to the discovery were confiscated and classified at the highest level. Tebani said, "As far as the official record is concerned, it never happened." A year later, Terminal 7 was quietly shut down. The official reason given to the public and the press was extensive structural renovations. It was a plausible excuse, but the terminal never fully reopened in the same way. Parts of it were cannibalized for other terminals, but the main concourse, the one sitting directly above the sealed station, remains dark and empty to this day. No official explanation was ever given for why the billion-dollar renovation was abandoned. But secrets like this have a way of leaking out. The story of the station beneath Terminal 7 became a whisper. An urban legend passed between late-night maintenance crews, baggage handlers, and air traffic controllers. A ghost story for the jet age. And they say, if you're ever in the abandoned section of the old freight depot late at night, and you stand near the service elevator shaft that goes deepest into the ground, you can sometimes feel it. A faint, cool breeze rising from beneath the concrete floor. A draft that carries a strange, distinct smell with it. The smell of cold iron, ozone, and burned electricity. The smell you get right after a subway train has rushed past. It's the phantom breath of a train that shouldn't exist, running its route on a track that was never built, carrying passengers who never returned. This is the end of File 13. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed diving into these forgotten files, make sure to follow for more.